Good morning, everyone. This morning, I will discuss information technology, infrastructures, and emerging technologies. These are the objectives that we learn in this chapter. What is IT infrastructures and what are the stages and drivers of IT infrastructures evolutions? What are the components of IT infrastructures and what are the current trends in computer hardware platforms? At first, we need to define what is IT infrastructures. An IT infrastructures consists of a set of physical devices and software applications that are required to operate the entire enterprises. But IT infrastructures also includes a set of firm-wide services budgeted by management and composed of both human and technical capabilities. So, technically, lahat naman tayo employed, nakagamit naman tayo or naka-witness naman tayo how to use some softwares and hardwares. So, imagine the software you are using or running to your computers. It could be QuickBooks, SAP, Account View, or simple program like Outlook, MS Word, MS Excel. All of that are connected to the company main servers by cables, routers, switches, or access points. Uh, this is what we call IT infrastructures. So, IT infrastructures is also called the backbone of digital business that provides the compute, network, workplace, and data platforms to empower the users to run the applications. So, ayun. So, these are the service platforms for us to make it easier to understand the business value provided by infrastructure's investment. So first, computing platforms, telecommunications, data management, application software, physical facility management, IT management, IT standard, IT education, and IT research and development. The IT infrastructures in organizations today is an outgrown of more than 50 years of evolution in computing platforms. There have been five stages in these evolutions, and it is general purpose mainframe, mini computer computing, personal computers, client server networks, enterprise computing, and cloud and mobile computing. This is the first stage in evolution of IT infrastructures. It is general purpose mainframe and mini computer era, 1959 to present. In 1965, the mainframe computer truly came into its own with the introduction of IBM P60 series. IBM 360 series was the first commercial computer that could provide time sharing, multitasking, and virtual memory in more advanced models. It was also become powerful enough to support thousands of online remote terminals connected to the centralized mainframe using proprietary communication protocols and proprietary data lines. So this is IBM 360 series look like and how it is operate. IBM 360 series, first member of the highly successful in 19,000 series. So it can be also used as independent computer or support equipment on a larger than 700 or 7,000 series machines. It was a fully transitionized and used pluggable circuit boards called SMS cards or for standard modular system and marketed with the newly created 1403 line printer. IBM received 5,200 orders for the machine in just the first week, which was many more than had been predicted for the entire life of IBM machines. The second stage is personal computer era, 1981 to present. Proliferation of PCs in 1980s and early 1990s launched a spate of personal desktop productivity software tools. Word processors, spreadsheets, electronic presentation software, and small data management programs that were very valuable to both home and corporate users. These PCs were standalone systems until PC operating system software in 1990s made it possible to link them into new networks. So this is personal computers look like.
5150. That's why my very first PC was an IBM. I wanted the best and IBM was the only and obvious choice. So, back in August of 1981, the 5150 was introduced after IBM being threatened by a rumor that younger companies like Commodore, Apple, Texas Instruments, and Tandy were about to start the whole.
So personal computers also are uh, first truly personal computers in 1970s. But there was a limited distribution of these computers to computers users. Therefore, the IBM PCs in 1981 was considered as the beginning of the personal computer era by reason of wide usage in American businesses. In the beginning, personal computers used the DOS operating system and text-based command languages, and later, the Microsoft Windows operating system. So, computer with the Windows operating system and Intel microprocessors became the standard personal computer. So, yun. As a percentage, 90% of computers run on Windows operating system and 10% run Macintosh operation system. So, yun. The third stage is client-server era, 1983 to present. In client-server computing, desktop or laptop computers called clients are networked to powerful server computers that provide the client computers with a variety of services and capabilities. Computer processing work is split between these two types of machines. The client is the user point of entry, whereas the server typically processes and stores shared data, serves as web pages, or manages network activities. The term server refers to both the software application and the physical computer on which the network software runs. As you can see, nakita niyo naman yung cycle ng client at server at feeling ko na-experience naman natin 'tong ganitong era ngayon. Na-experience ko siya nung way back 2016, dun sa dati kong trabaho na mayroon kaming isang hardware computer na yung tinatawag nga nilang server. Tapos naka-connect yun sa lahat ng mga desktop namin. Tapos, meron kaming isang software na ginagamit. Doon namin nilalagay yung mga data ng kliyente. Doon kami nag-generate ng billing. Infosys yung pangalan ng application. Tapos, hindi siya mag-work pag hindi siya nakakabit sa internet. So, ah, ngayon, na-apply pa rin natin siya sa mga ibang company. Fourth era is enterprises computing era, 1992 to present. In early 1990s, firms turned to networking standards and software tools that could integrate disparate networks and applications throughout the firm into an enterprise-wide infrastructures. As the internet developed into the trusted communications environment after 1995, business firms began seriously using the Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol, TCP or IP networking standard to tie their disparate network together. As you can see, ito yung flow ng enterprises computing era. Mas na-enhance na yung technology at the same time yung internet protocols natin that time. So, uh, the organization began to use the internet protocols and networking standards heavily to combine their dissimilar network together. So, the final result of this development, uh, IT infrastructures link small networks and variety of computer hardware into a enterprise-wide network. Therefore, the information will be able to flow freely through the organization and with other organizations also. So, can also link various types of computer hardware, including mainframes, personal computer, servers, mobile devices, and also including public infrastructures. Yun. The last stage is cloud and mobile computing era 2000 to present. The growing bandwidth power of the internet has pushed the client-server model one step further towards what is called the cloud computing model. Cloud computing refers to a model of computing that provides access to a shared pool computing resources, computers, storage, applications, and services over a network, often the internet. These clouds of computing resources can be accessed on as needed basis from any connected device and locations. So dito, mas na-enhance na yung internet natin. So, dati kailangan natin ng device or kailangan natin ng personal computer para na makapag-send tayo ng information or data dun sa customers natin. This time, we can email the concern or email the documents na lang through internet. So, parang, syempre ngayon, dahil mateki na tayo ngayon, ito na yung mas ginagawa natin ngayon, mobile to send ka lang ng images or ng files through your account, marireceive na nila yon kahit ano man yung gamit nila na without cable, without servers, without routers, just the internet. Technology drivers of infrastructure's evolution. So, the changes in IT infrastructures we have just described have resulted from developments in computer processing, memory chips, storage devices, telecommunications, and network hardware and software designs that exponentially increased computing power while exponentially reducing cost. So, may mga process din na ginawa, may mga theory din na ginawa para mas mag-upgrade pa yung technology na meron tayo. Moore's Law and Microprocessing Power. In 1965, Gordon Moore, the director of Fairchild Semiconductors, introduced that the number of transistors in a dense integrated circuit doubles about every 2 years. Moore's Law is an observation and projection of a historical trend. Rather than a law of physics, it is an empirical relationship linked to gains from experience in productions. So, have you ever noticed that the faster technology gets, the cheaper it gets? It all comes down to Gordon Moore and the prediction he had made over 50 years ago that became a driving force of technology innovation. So, it's about how everything gets better and better. So, the best explanation of Moore's law is the power of computers will roughly double every 2 years. So tech will continue to get smaller, faster, and more reliable at a consistent rate while the relatives goes down. It says it would lead to inventions like home computers, digital watch, and personal portable communication equipment like cell phone, laptop, and tablet. The law of mass digital storage. The amount of digital information is roughly doubling every year. Almost all of this information growth involves magnetic storage of digital data, and printed documents account for 0.003% of the annual growth. The cost of storing digital information is falling at an exponential rate of 100% a year. Parang ito yung dito papasok yung mga storage. For example, yung iCloud, yung Google Photos, Google Drive, may mga capacity lang sila kung ilan yung pwede mong i-store dun sa data. Dun sa Infosys na ginamit namin sa dati kong trabaho, may din siyang capacity. Tapos, yung server niya na yan, may mga backups yan. Doon papasok yung mga backups kasi ah, hindi naman pwedeng lagi kang tulad ng mga Google, dapat naka-subscribe ka para maging only yung capacity ng data mo. Yun. So, parang, ayun. Metcalfe's law and network economic. Robert Metcalfe's inventor of Ethernet local area network technology claimed in 1970 that the value or power of the network grows exponentially as a function of the number of network members. It is one of the foundational principles of network economics. It suggests that as a network grows, its value grows much faster than its user base. So it is a Kaff's law concept used in networks and telecommunication to represent the value of networks. It states that the value of telecommunication network is proportionally to the square of the number of connected users. It explains that many of the network's effects of communication technologies such as internet and World Wide Web. For example, yung fax machine, hindi ka makakapag-send ng ah, makakapag-send ng file kung wala ding fax machine yung pagsesendan mo. So, it doubles the value of and it grows much faster than its user base. So, yon. Declining communication cost in the internet. A fourth technology driver transforming IT infrastructures is the rapid decline in the cost of communication and the exponential growth in the size of the internet. This is also the biggest drivers in the exploding use of computers is directly attributable to the internet. It's getting cheaper every day to connect to the internet because of declining communication costs. As more and more users connect to the internet, businesses must find ways to meet the expectation and demands of users, especially in the area of mobile computing device. Standard and network effects. Today's enterprise infrastructures and internet computing will be impossible, both now and in the future, without agreements among manufacturers and widespread consumers' acceptance of technology standards. It is specification that establish the compatibility of products and the ability to communicate in a network. So, technology standards and specifications establish that the compatibility of products and the ability to communicate in a network unleash powerful economies of scale and result in price declines as manufacturers focus on products built to a certain standard. Components of IT infrastructures. As you can see, ito yung cycle ng components ng IT infrastructures. The components of IT infrastructures are made up of interdependent elements, and the two core groups of components are hardware and software. Hardware uses software like an operating system to work, and likewise, an operating system manages system resources and hardware. Operating systems also make connections between software application and physical resources using network components. These are the components of IT infrastructures. First, computer hardware platforms. These are the computers and servers machines in your network. Servers allow users to share information and the necessary files required to keep the company running. The firm worldwide spend more money on the computer hardware, including severing devices as well as client devices. When considering about server market, they mostly use Intel or AMD processor for their computers. And also used Sunspare microprocessors and IBM chips that's specially designed for server computers. In the computer hardware market, the leading producers are IBM, HP, Dell, and Sun Microsystems, which is acquired by Oracle, and also Intel and AMD are the leading companies in producing processors. So next is operating system. Is software that manages the functioning of all the other applications after being loaded on a computer. It is also act as an interface for the users. Every computer must have at least one OS in the order to function. So operating system platforms. In the serves operating system market, 35% of firms are used Windows operating system and 65% of corporate servers use Linux operating system. When considering about client level, 90% use of Microsoft Windows operating system to run their personal computers. And also, Mobile devices run with an Android operating system powered by Google. Although most of the mobile devices run with Android OS and the Apple devices, competitions between these operating systems. Enterprise software applications is a large-scale software that helps solve the problems of the entire organizations. They include software such as middleware, Oracle, and PeopleSoft. Other applications in the companies used to link all the all the applications also fall into this category. Basically, an enterprise software application is software with a large volume of data. This software collects data from every business function. This enterprise software is so beneficial to the organization. The information can be used or shared throughout through all the management levels and functional levels. The leading producers of enterprise application software are SAP and Oracle. Networking telecommunication platforms. Networking platforms include Windows Server OS, Linux, Unix, among others. Telecommunication platforms are provided by telecommunication service companies that provide data connectivity, internet, access, voice, and wired area network. Network telecommunication platforms is developing rapidly. Therefore, firms worldwide are spending billions of money on telecommunication equipment to manage telecommunication or networking. The firms require telecommunication platforms. These telecommunication platforms are provided by telephone services companies that offer connectivity, wide area working in internet access, and wireless services. So, while consulting and system integration services, they are used to integrate the legacy system with modern infrastructure. Software integration is ensuring that new technology works with the old one, also called legacy system. Consulting and system integration. When an organization decides to implement a new infrastructures, it requires a change in business, processes and procedures, trainings and developments, software integration. But today, even a large entity does not have a staff, required skills, a budget, or other significant experience to maintain the entire IT infrastructures. In this case, some leading firms provide this expertise. IBM Global Services, HP, Infosys, Wipro Technologies. System integration refers to the ensuring that IT infrastructures with the firm's so-called legacy system, and also it ensures new elements of the infrastructures work with one another. Next is data management. Data management is handled by software and stores in storage devices. Nowadays, data storage has evolved as the needed to access it easily. Backing up and restoring data grows. It is useful for organizing and managing data in the entity. Therefore, the managers and other users can access and use information efficiently. The leading database management software providers are Oracle, Microsoft, IBM, and Sybase. In the physical data storage market, the EMC Corporation is the most leading provider for the large system. The leading PC hard disk providers are Seagate and Western Digital. The amount of new digital information is developing day by day. Therefore, the demand of digital data storage devices has been increased at more than 15% annually over over the last 5 years. So, data management, ito yung mga external, mga servers, mga kung na pwede mo lagyan ng backups. So, yun. Last is internet platforms. Internet platforms is related to the internet to include the hardware, software, and facilities that support web hosting, maintenance of websites, web application tools together with intranets and extranets. So, internet platforms influence its entity general working infrastructure, hardware platforms, and software platforms. These platforms include hardware, software, and management services to support the organization's website, routers, networking equipment, and web hosting services. The major web software developing tools and suites are produced by Microsoft, Oracle Sun, and independent software developers. So, what are the current trends in computer hardware platforms? First, the mobile digital platforms. Mobile computing devices such as cell phones and smartphones have taken up many of the functions in handheld computers, transmission of data, surfing the web, transmitting emails and instant messages, displaying digital context, and exchanging data with internal corporate systems. Consumerization of IT and BYOD. The popularity, ease of use, and rich arrays of useful applications for smartphones and tablet computers have created a groundswell of interest in allowing employees to use their personal mobile devices in the workplace, a phenomenon popularly called bring your own device. Bring your own device is one aspect of the consumerization of IT, in which new information technology that first emerges in the consumer market spreads into business organization. So today, employees and business departments are playing a much larger role in technology selection. In many cases, demanding that employees be able to use their own personal computers, smartphones, and tablets to access the corporate network, it is more difficult to the firm to manage and control these consumers' technologies and make sure they serve the needs of businesses. The chapter ending case study explores some of these management challenges created by bring your own device and IT consumerization. Quantum computing uses the principles of quantum physics to represent data and perform operation on this data, while conventional computers handle bits of data as either 0 or 1 but not both. Quantum computing can process units of data as 0, 1, or both simultaneously. A quantum computer would gain enormous processing power through this ability to be on multiple states at once, allowing it to solve some scientific and business problems millions of times faster than can be done today. So edge or quantum computing or edge computing is a multi-tier load balancing scheme of web-based application. So processing load is distributed closer to the end user and handled by lower cost servers, which is lower cost of hardware, increased service levels, provides firm greater flexibility and responding to service requests. And last, seasonal spike in demand can be offloaded to the other edge servers. Virtualization is the process of presenting a set of computing resources, such as computing power or data storage, so that they can all be accessed in ways that are not restricted by physical configuration or geographic location. Virtualization enables a single physical resources, such as servers or storage device, to appear to the users as multiple logical resources. So virtualization is uh, enables company to run more than one operating system at the same time on a single machine. Virtualization software the runs between the operating system and the hardware, making server resources, including the rack number and identity of physical servers and processors and operating system from servers users. Next is cloud computing. Cloud computing is now possible for companies and individuals to perform all of their computing work using a virtualized IT infrastructures in remote location. As is the case with cloud computing is a model of computing in which processing, storage, software, and other services are provided as shared pool of virtualization resources over a network primarily in the internet. Example na lang dito yung TeamViewer, kung alam niyo yun. So, yun. Next is, so we have 5 cloud computing characteristics. First is on-demand self-service. On-demand self-service, consumers can obtain computing capabilities such as server time or network storage as needed automatically on their own. Next is ubiquitous network access. Cloud resources can be accessed using standard network and internet devices, including mobile platforms. Third is location-independent resource pooling. Computing resources are pooled to serve multiple users with different virtual resources, dynamically assigned according to user demand. The user generally does not know where the computing resources are located. Next is rapid elasticity. Computing resources can be rapidly provisioned, increased or decreased to meet changing user demand. Measure service is charge for cloud resources are based on amount of resources actually used. So these are the characteristic of cloud computing. Next is the three types of cloud computing. First is infrastructures as service. Consumers are processing, storage, networking, and other computing resources from cloud service capacity of its IT infrastructures to provide broadly based cloud environment selling IT infrastructure services. So next is software as a service. Software as a service, consumer use software hosted by the vendor on the vendor's cloud infrastructures and delivered as service over a network. So next is platform as a service. Customers use infrastructures and programming tools supported by the cloud service provider to develop their own application. For example, IBM offers a Bluemix service for software development and testing on the IBM cloud. Another example is Salesforce.com, which allows developers to build applications that are hosted and it serves as a service. So, green computing is curbing hardware proliferation and power consumption. Virtualization has become one of the principal technologies for promoting green computing. Green computing or green IT refers to practices and technologies for designing, manufacturing, using, and disposing of computers, servers, and associated devices such as monitors, printers, and storage devices, and network and communication system to minimize impact on the internet. So, green computing involves connecting geographically remote computers into a single network to create a virtual supercomputer by combining the computational power of all computers on the grid. So, yun. So, high performance and power saving processors. Another way to reduce power requirements and hardware sprawl is to use more efficient and power-saving processors. Contemporary microprocessors now features multiple processor cores which perform the reading and execution of computer instruction on a single chip. A multi-core processor is an integrated circuit to which two or more processors core have been attached for enhanced performance, reduced power consumption, and more efficient simultaneously processing of multiple tasks. So multi-core processor is an integrated circuit to which Two or more processor cores have been attached for enhanced performance, reduced power consumption, and more efficient simultaneous processing of multiple tasks. This technology enables two or more processing engines with reduced power requirement and heat dissipation to perform tasks faster than a resource-hungry chip with a single processing core. The software cannot function without hardware, which is also almost useless without a network and internet connection. Also important are the people who operate these infrastructures to keep them working. So that's it. Thank you po.